According to the United Nations, over 3.1 million children die every single year from starvation and poverty. On the other hand, Elon Musk actually became the world's first trillionaire. And for the first time, I am asking a very genuine question. Is AI really going to bridge the inequality gap in the future? Or is it actually going to further widen the gap between the top 1% and the bottom 99%? And so if you're worried about the AI future and the possibility of the rich becoming more richer and the poor becoming even poorer, then this video is for you. Because in today's video, we are looking at the 3 possible AI-driven futures that can actually affect your finances and what you can more importantly do to protect your money and then also secure your interest in the future. And if you're new here, my name is Nana. I hold a master's degree in business finance, and on this channel, we discuss everything personal finance and personal development. But before we dive deeper, let's take a critical look at what history actually teaches us about revolutions like the current one we are seeing, which is the AI revolution. In 1760, between 1760 and 1840, the world saw its first industrial revolution, and that was a revolution that promised prosperity to all. But at the end of that revolution, the world had to institute measures and put in several laws that protected children and stopped them from working anywhere between 10 and 14 hours every single day in a bid to be able to afford their basic needs. And so that was a very big failure on the side of government and also the ultra rich to make provision for the poor. Subsequently, we saw the industrial mechanization revolution, which also rendered millions of people jobless because these people mainly worked as farm laborers. And as a result of the mechanization of these farming systems and its operations, most people had to leave their jobs because now machines were replacing most of the jobs that these people were doing on the farms. That subsequently led to rural-urban migration, where people were forced to settle for menial jobs. And at that moment, most people actually made money, but definitely not the poor people. So the ultra-rich for the second time in history actually got even richer, whilst the poor people got poorer. Then we came to the deindustrialization era of the 1970s and the 1980s, where most rich people and most companies actually outsourced their production systems outside in a bid to actually increase their profitability. So once again, that was a loss for poor people and a gain for rich people. And then came the internet revolution, where most people thought that that was an opportunity for everyone to also have a fair share of the national cake, which also led to the widening of the inequality gap. Now, don't get me wrong, most people actually benefited. That is, poor people became rich through all these revolutions. But ultimately, the very people that benefited from all these series of revolution, according to history, were the top 1%. And that came off the backs of poor people having to work endless hours tirelessly in a bid to meet their basic needs. And so with this basic understanding that we have, we come to the first fear that people have of the future, and that is the AI dystopia, or a future where human beings are actually entirely replaced by AI. As it stands now, most companies are drifting towards AI automation and adoption simply because AI is delivering anywhere between 10% and 15% in excess productivity. That is, if they are to employ the services of humanoid robots or AI chatbots in their entire production systems, most companies are seeing more profitability as a result of productivity. So now, most companies are forced to actually incorporate AI into their production systems. And then secondly, it is because most of the companies have seen their competitors over the past couple of years or over the past couple of months incorporating AI into their production systems, which is also making them to be at a competitive disadvantage. So one thing that we have to know is the fact that most companies are in the future going to be incentivized to employ the services of humanoid robots. Like Elon Musk has said already that he foresees a future where there will be more humanoid robots simply because they are going to build so many with Tesla. And human beings will no longer have to work. Work would actually become optional. But one thing that is forgotten is the fact that the current economic system that we have has economic factors that keep the entire economic system running. And that is the factors of production, which is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Now, once you take human beings, which is labor, out of that entire production system, what you're doing is that you're limiting them and avoiding them to spend. But the current economic model that we have needs people to earn and also to expend, which keeps the cycle going round and round in circle. If you're to take human beings out, that means that there'll be less purchasing power in the economy, and now you wouldn't have monies coming in like they used before. Because if people are to lose their jobs, then the possibility of them spending would actually be minimized. Because where are you going to get the money to actually expend? As it stands now, experts are projecting that there is in excess of 50 to 60% of the entire workforce in the US living paycheck to paycheck. So imagine a future where people don't have jobs at all. What are they going to spend? And would the economic system actually survive something like this? So that is the current dystopia that world-renowned economists and several AI scientists are worried about. That brings us to the second AI future, and that is the one that I love so much, and that is the AI utopia. A utopia is a situation where AI would actually make so many world production systems very, very efficient and effective to a point where we can have free access to quality healthcare. Currently, as it stands now, according to research by the Federal Reserve Bank of the US, there is in excess of 11,000 to 12,000. That is the average cost of hospitalization in the US alone. So if we have AI systems that are much more effective and efficient, that would actually reduce this cost drastically, because you would actually have the assistance of AI on several fronts within the health sector, which would eventually make healthcare quite accessible and affordable for millions of people worldwide. And also, researchers are actually projecting something that is the universal basic income, where you'd actually be entitled to an amount of money every single month, whether you're employed or not employed. So if you're employed, you would earn that amount of money, and on top of that, your income coming in at the end of the month as well. But if you're not employed, then the government would also make provision for the universal basic income so that you'd be able to meet your basic needs and then keep the entire economic cycle running. But that, once again, is a utopia. And the truth is, I'm not very, positive about it, simply because human beings would generally just scale or change the scales and then bend it towards their favor. The ultra rich have actually been doing it for several hundreds of years. And so we are likely not going to see a utopia, not because AI will not be effective or efficient, but simply because human beings and certain people amongst the top 1% wouldn't actually give an F about what happens to the middle class and the poor, and they would like to actually seize everything to themselves. And that is what would eventually bring about the likelihood or a possibility of civil unrest in the future. That leads us to the third AI future, and that is what I call the augmented AI future. And that is a future that combines a dystopia and a utopia. So unlike a future where we are likely going to see several millions of jobs being lost as a result of AI automation, that is, human beings being replaced by AI, we rather augment several production systems by incorporating AI into the systems to help human beings or human counterparts to be much more productive in a bid to actually ensure more effectiveness and efficiency. So that is what I call AI augmentation. So as opposed to AI automation, let's find ways and means of increasing our already existing potency and our ability and our potential as human beings with AI. And that can actually happen. And that is not so difficult for us as human beings to actually attain. However, like I've said earlier, there are several people out there who would want to see one thing, and that is profitability. And they will choose money over human beings any single day. So when it comes to this AI augmentation, what they would be looking at is what is likely going to deliver the best value to me, instead of what is likely going to happen or deliver the best value to society. So what is going to make me much more richer? If augmentation would come at an exceeding cost as opposed to automation, then definitely I'm going to settle for automation, because if I'm able to drastically reduce my factors of production and the cost associated with that, then it makes me much more richer. So most rich people in this case, in the case of augmentation, will just sideline or turn a deaf ear to augmentation and jump straight for automation simply because it increases their net worth. And that is a sad truth that we are likely going to see in the future. But in an augmented world where AI actually complements and not substitute human beings, we are likely going to see an abundance of productivity, and most of the world's problems would actually be solved. And so if you found value in this video, kindly try as much as possible to smash the like button at this point. And then moving on to what you can do more importantly to protect yourself against all these futures. The one thing that you have to acknowledge is the fact that AI has come to stay. So what you want to do is to become an AI co-pilot and not a competitor. what you can do to become a co-pilot is to try as much as possible to subject yourself to several forms of AI education. Listen to podcasts, try and listen to experts, read articles, read research findings, follow several platforms that can give you information and prepare you financially towards an AI world, whether a dystopia or utopia or a combination of two, which is an augmented AI future, like I've spoken about earlier. What you can do also now is to try and then dive into the AI revolution. What you can do is to buy shares in several AI companies out there. You can start with as little as $20 or pounds every single week, and that is what is called dollar cost averaging, which I've shot several videos on this platform about, and so you can take a critical look at those in the videos on this platform, and that can help you to position yourself, your family, and then also to protect your income and your finances against an AI dystopia. And so if you found value, once again, kindly subscribe, because subsequently I'll be shooting several videos and bringing you several insights on what you can do to protect yourself and to hit your financial goals at the end of the year and possibly a couple of centuries ahead of us. Thank you for spending time with us, and see you in the next video.